Peace and love. Peace and love.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I assume most of you had a nice long weekend. So, my questions are was it long enough, first of all? And secondly, was it good? Hey, everyone, thanks for being here. I think what should have been a good weekend was hampered by what happened in Central Texas or on the Guadalupe River, Kerrville, um, all that area with the flooding that happened. I was trying to keep up and putting the posts and updating, but the number of victims kept going up and kept going up, and for a while there, they weren't finding. I know it turned from a rescue to a recovery mission, but after a while, when they don't find anybody, the outcome's not going to be good. And then when they broke the news at Camp Mystic, a lot of those little girls were missing. It's like, ugh. So from Camp Mystic, I believe it's 27 missing total, but that includes some of the counselors. So I'm thinking it's something like 22, maybe 24 girls, and the balance being counselors. And that's just Camp Mystic. I mean, right now the total is, I believe it's teetering around 104 missing, or at least dead. And it's just something horrible, very horrible, very sad. And then you start to see video, and you guys saw that footage of this house. Not a house. I guess it's a cabin. Technically, it's a cabin, and it starts to float, and somebody's at the door, trying, like holding on, and the thing is floating away. Oh man, just a really bad situation, and it's Mother Nature. Pisses me off when people try to start to throw politics in here, and then And then when they're pointing the finger and naming people, I mean, it was inevitable that somebody was going to say it's Trump's fault. Like, oh, Lord, stop already. Just stop. And they start spewing false information. They start spewing false information and just everything. I don't know. It seems like for some people, tragedy brings, when it's, what do they call it? I forgot the term. Tragedy horrors or something, where they use a tragedy and try to politicize it. And it's just, and racism, yeah, Trevor. Ridiculous. Oh my God, unbelievable. I mean, it's bad enough people are making comments, along social media posts and that kind of thing. But then when you have, people that are supposed to be in positions of esteem or in regard, and they're saying stupid things, and it's like, wow. Wow. I know. I posted one of them, but I know there was another one. There was a lady who got fired for saying something, but then there was that one lady. Let me look it up. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, I don't even want to say her name, but she's not very well known, not nationally anyway. Okay, Sade or Sade, Sade, Perkins, Miss Perkins. She's the one who said that. She said Camp Mystic is a white-only girls' Christian camp. They don't ever have token Asian. They don't even have a token black person. It's all white-only conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right. You ain't getting in. You ain't going, period. These are her words. It's not to say we don't want the girls to be found. Whatever girls that are missing, that's what she said. But you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, this would not be getting this hype, this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a F-U-C-K. Yeah, that's what that piece of crap said. Unfreaking believable. I don't know. I mean, unbelievable, kind of, but not shocked, Hey, Sheila. Tragedy pimps. Yeah, there you go. Tragedy pimps. What's his name? The guy who just, he was elected something of the Democratic National Committee. What's his name? That skinny dude, Hogg, David Hogg. It was funny because his face would pop up everywhere at these riots or at some kind of disaster or something. His face would pop up like all over the place. And they made memes out of that guy. Hey, Cecile. Or Native American women never covered. That's very true. And this is regardless of what's going on, whether things, relatively speaking, whether things are calm in the country or not, you don't hear things that happen with Native Americans. That's funny. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Yeah, Julie, didn't Trump blame Biden also? Yeah, you know what? But you have to know, Trump just talks a lot of smack. You can expect Trump to be Trump most of the time. You can always expect Trump to be Trump. So things that he says shouldn't surprise you. And I gotta say, a lot of times he's not wrong. A lot of times he's not wrong. He's not right with everything, but he's not wrong a lot either. Let's see, where was this? Hey, KK, you're up. Well, you're not exactly near. You're closer than I am, I think. Are you guys getting more rain? I know they're supposed to get more rain just to add to all this. But what happened in the Guadalupe River, that's the one that overflowed. I mean, when they say it was 100 years flood, they don't mean it happens every 100 years or so. They mean it's an epic event. That's what they mean. Like a disaster, like something that never happens. Like, once. So when they say 100 years flood, they don't mean last time it happened was 100 years ago. They mean it's epic. And according to what I heard, when the rain was going over, and it was supposed to pass and just keep moving, when it got over Kerrville, that whole general area, I think Hunt's another one. Check out the map here. Yeah, Kerrville, Comforts, Hunt, even the storm, the rain cloud just stopped. Instead of moving, it just stopped, and it's pouring rain. It didn't go as was predicted. Okay, so here's the other part of it. You've got a lot of people on the left saying, "Oh, Trump fired everybody from the National Weather Services, and nobody was there, and they were not getting good forecasts." That's all a bunch of crap. Many meteorologists and people from the National Weather Service came out and they said, "Whoa, slow down. You're out of your depth." They were all well staffed, and they had extra people on staff. And whatever people were not on staff were on standby to be anywhere that they were needed. So there was no short staff, nothing. Some of the departments in the emergency services will get either closed or restructured. But we're talking about marketing departments, and some people were offered early retirement and they took it. They didn't have to, right? But they took early retirement, and this is all in an effort to make things more efficient. So there was not a mass firing. In fact, most of this reorganizing is not supposed to start until October, if I'm not mistaken. I skimmed through some of that big giant bill, which was 1 million pages. Almost not 1 million pages, but it seemed like it. And I would not want to read that whole thing from end to end. Anyway, so a lot of these are falsehoods that are being thrown out there just to discredit people, the government, the president. You know, anytime something happens on the Republican watch, oh my God, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Always, never fails, never fails. Hey, Cindy. And then they're talking about, yeah, the Sheila, the man-made rain. That's a bunch of crap. Also, I'm telling you, these conspiracy theories are out there in full force right now, and they don't care about the lives lost. You know, I put it on my page. There was a schedule of events of when the alert started. Flood warnings, flash flood warnings, what time they started the day before, the night before. And they kept coming out in these I don't know how many hours in between or how much time in between, but they were coming out. And I know it's not popular. This is not a popular opinion. But I mean, shit, I don't even want to say it. But you know what? It's the truth. It's the truth. What do people do when you hear, oh, flash flood warning, flash flood warning? Oh, wow. Damn. Okay. Does anybody ever do anything about it? Does anybody ever go, hey, you know what? We better not go. Or, you know what? What time is it? You know what? Let's drive out of here. You know, just in case. If it's not in a few hours, we'll come back. And that's the truth. And if you're camping and you know there's weather, and if you're out somewhere where you have limited resources, maybe not TVs and stuff, yeah, you might have cell phone and signal, and you know there's weather because it's overcast and it's going to rain. You know, and I'm not trying to blame the camp or the camp organizers or, you know, the counselors or any of that stuff. But alerts, flash flood, tornado, hurricane, tornado warnings, lightning warnings, they go out everywhere, coast to coast. And what do people do about it? Suzanne, exactly. You don't think it's going to happen to you? Yeah. Oh man. Wow. Flash flood warning. Holy crap. I hope nothing bad happens. And then, if you're out camping, I know the point of camping is to get off the grid, right? Get away from the internet, the TV, your electronics. But you cannot, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but you cannot detach yourself, especially if, I mean, you're responsible for a bunch of young children. You got to have a radio on, man. You got to be listening. You have to stay in tune with what's going on with the weather, because you're responsible for people. You know, just like, you know, this past Friday, a week ago this past Friday, a little boy, Logan, was left in a daycare center vehicle for about 3 to 5 hours. Chances are he was napping and fell asleep when they arrived from the field trip. So he didn't get. They didn't check. They didn't do a head count. But I'm thinking he was like this, and he's young, right? So they couldn't see over the seat. Maybe they took a look and didn't see. They thought everybody was out. So he passed away. Today they actually laid him to rest. But it's the same thing. You're responsible for people. You have to take that extra step or 2 or 3. You have to check things. You got to check people. You have to make sure these people that you're responsible for, in this case, children, are going to be okay. You got to check the weather. You got to have constant communication. I don't understand. I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm in charge of one of these things and I hear bad weather, flash flood warning, you know what? Let's round everybody up. Let's take a drive down into town and hang out at the McDonald's or at the hotel or whatever. Just in case. If morning comes and everything's good, then we'll go back and everything's okay. Is it inconvenience? Maybe. But you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. The plan isn't just turn off the radio. It's a flash flood warning somewhere, or it's not going to rain that much. It won't be that bad. And I mean, I can imagine you feel the cabin start to float and start to move, and you're in it. Some of these kids are still in their beds. Bunk beds, and your little house starts to move. I mean, it's horrifying. Poor people, and whatever adults there were that were there, I know I'm sure to some extent they tried to help, but this is like it's like I don't know. I think in life we get too complacent. Just like somebody put in the comments here a little bit ago, it won't happen to us. Oh man, that's bad. Yeah, but it will be okay. We'll be okay. And I'm not. Don't get mad at me for saying this. It's a Christian camp. At some point somebody said, I'm sure they prayed. I'm sure God with us. God, He'll take care of us. He's going to protect us. We're going to be okay. And I'll be honest. Yeah, here. Let me put some of these up here. Hey, Suzanne. The plan that were made for that special weekend and the little rain isn't going to ruin it for the holiday. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. It's only Friday, guys. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna little rain. The river might, it's gonna rise up a little bit, but we'll be okay. Hey, Jay. And and I don't want to be the one person to say that thing. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. But I'm sure they said they're going to pray. God's going to protect us. He's going to watch over us. He's going to do this and He's going to do that. But it doesn't work like that. Because it worked like that everybody would be over here. Oh yeah, I just need $500 extra this weekend. I just need $500 extra. Let me hit that lotto, God, please. Let me hit that lottery. I need $500 this weekend. Because that's what the whole world would be like. And I'm one to believe, God's response to this was probably all those counselors that were there. These guys are smart. They're going to be the ones to tell you to get out of there. You know the story about the guy in the boat, his boat sinking, and he's trying to scoop the water out. He's saying, God help me, God help me. Let me get some of the water out. And fishing boat comes by. He goes, hey, come on, here, grab this, and I'll tow you in. He goes, no. I pray to God he's going to help me. He goes, okay, all right, be safe. And then a bigger fishing boat, big one, like trawler, comes by. Hey, let's go. Take the rope. I'll tow you in. He goes, no. God's going to help me. God's going to help me. You sure? Yeah, God's going to help me. You guys have heard this before. He goes away. He's still scooping the water out. Big cruise ship, like a Carnival cruise ship, comes by and they throw the raft down. Hey, come on, come on. He goes, no. God said he's going to save me. He's going to take care of me. Cruise ship takes off. Boat gets overtaken by water. Guy can't swim. He drowns. Up in heaven, the gates open up. He's like, dude, what happened, God? You said you were going to come and save me. He goes, well, I sent you 3 boats and you didn't take any one of them. What's your problem? You guys remember that story? A little bit different version, but you remember that story. This is the same thing. Those teachers, the counselors, the owner, the adults that are there, I have to blame them. And I know it's not a time to start pointing fingers and all that. I know. But this is that hard truth that I'm talking about. Shouldn't have happened. People take these severe weather warnings too lightly. I don't know if you just don't think. I mean, I know what the thinking is. Well, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to. Down here in Brownsville, we've been lucky. We haven't really had a direct hit from a hurricane. We have all these hurricanes last year that were targeting Brownsville, the southern tip of Texas. All the models showed it coming right to Brownsville. Oh yeah, it's going to hit. It's going to hit. And in the last minute, let me start the cycle over again. So when we had these tornadoes coming our way, it seemed like at the last minute it would veer off to the north. It would get somewhat near, 100 miles or less, and it would start to go north, make a right turn. And we get rain from the outer rain bands, and some heavy rain, but take a direct hit, we haven't had one in a long time. At least not since I've been here. I'm told if we ever got a direct hit of a big hurricane, we'd be in trouble. But I have my plans. Should the big one be coming and we're gonna take a direct hit, getting in the car and driving northwest, far away. You have to make a plan. You had a plan for this stuff. I don't know. I know we're not supposed to blame. It's too early. I don't even think they've recovered all the bodies of the deceased yet. But unfortunately, all these little girls, beautiful little girls, I saw all those pictures, and man, if I was a parent, I would be a basket case. I don't know what I would do. I don't even want to imagine it. I can't. You know, I don't know if evacuations were mandatory. You know, I don't think so, because the storm was supposed to just keep going. The problem is it stalled, and then it just dropped rain. It just dropped water on the same place. Here's the one from 5:34 in the morning on July 4th. This is the actual weather. Nadia sent this to me. Flash flood emergency for the Guadalupe River from a hunt through Kerrville and Center Point. The National Weather Service in Austin/San Antonio has issued a flash flood warning for east central Kerr County and south central Texas until noon Friday, July 4th. At 5:34 a.m., automated rain gauges indicate a large and deadly flood wave is moving down Guadalupe River. Flash flooding is already occurring. This is a flash flood emergency for the Guadalupe River from Hunt through Kerrville and Center Point. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. So, if I'm one of these adult counselors or teachers or whatever you want to call them, and I know it's raining hard, I'm staying up all night and I'm listening to the freaking weather. That's what I'm doing. And they should have got people out of there, man. It should not have happened. You know, I'll stop with that because I know it's probably too soon. But just like with that little boy Logan here, who was left in a hot car, you know, it's the adults to be responsible. It's the adults to know what to do and take action. So over the next few days, I know they will recover more. I know one of the girls, I don't know if it was a body, and now I can't remember. I think I put this on my page. It was either a body they recovered or someone alive. But they recovered that person 12 miles down the river. 12 miles. So when you're talking about recovery efforts, it's not just right there in Kerrville. You have to go down to where the Guadalupe River goes. And this would have been moving, if I'm not mistaken, from northwest to southeast. Pretty sure that's the right. So, you guys, people really want to blame people? Well, you know what's on my mind, and you know, unfortunately, unfortunately, that is a hard truth. That is a hard, difficult truth. And I know, nobody wants to hear that kind of thing now. And yeah, but it's bad. What is the weather like? Let me take a look. I know it's supposed to get more rain. It's not supposed to get as bad as it was. Oops, curve. There's curve. I know they were predicting rain, but it doesn't look like right now there's any. Well, that's good. That gives them time to search in peace. Okay, there I see the rain, but it's further to the east. So, anyway. Yeah, so that happened. And then, every time I say that, I remember Bam going, and then. I know it's from some movie, but. Just a bad situation. Shitty. I can't even. I can't imagine it. Yeah, I know they're finding, I don't know if they're dead or alive, but way miles down the river. And there was that story that came out, they found two girls clinging to a tree. And everybody, we wanted to believe it. It was not confirmed. And I kept digging, and I couldn't find confirmation. Finally, I saw a story that it was not two girls, it was two dolls, like tall dolls that were stuck in a tree. Like life-size dolls, And I'm like, oh my goodness, man. That was either a freaking coincidence or some cruel joke. I hope it was not a joke. But just a horrible thing to come across. Hey, Juju. I haven't talked to Bam too much. He's a busy guy. Got no time. Every once in a while, he'll send me a TikTok or something to look at, but don't know. That's all I can say about that guy. I hope he's doing good. Anyway, we hope that they can find people alive. I'm starting to come to grips with the fact that they're not going to find any of these young girls alive. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 22 or 23 of them that are still missing. Something like that. Hey, Aurora, Arizona. It's hot. So the other thing I was going to share with you guys was a video. Let me show you what's going on in Let me show you what's going on south of the border. You ready for this? Have you seen this? This is Mexico City. So, guess what they're protesting in Mexico? Any idea? Anybody know? They are protesting. They're protesting American money. They are protesting. They're protesting against gentrification. But they are targeting American-owned businesses. They are targeting American tourist destinations in Mexico. So, that's a bit of a touchy thing. I mean, if you want the American money to stop flowing into your country, well, we can arrange for that. But do you really want that? Do they really want that? Hey, Didi. What do you think would happen if businesses from America or American business people quit putting money into Mexico? What if American money just stopped going to Mexico? All those businesses that they are destroying and they're vandalizing, just like here in Los Angeles. And I found out that crap is still going on. Yeah, it is. It's still going on. It's like, what do you think will happen to Mexico if Americans quit spending money over there? All those businesses that they're destroying, Mexican people work there. Mexican people wait on those tables. Mexican people cook. Mexican people bust those tables. Their own people are making their living there by working there. You really want American money to quit flowing into Mexico? Well, that can be arranged. Do you really want that, Mexico? All you young boneheads, do you really want that? I don't think so. Again, there's that mob mentality. A lot of these people are probably just regular youth. But you know what? Hey, there's 5,000 people here marching and breaking shit. Hey, let me throw a rock. Or let me run in there and grab a handful of clothes just like everybody else. Whether it's here, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, it's the same crap. And it's the same groups of youthful idiots. I've got Mexico right here. Literally, I can walk, 15-minute walk, and I'm at the bridge and I can cross over. Dang. Yeah, I could walk to the bridge. There's 3 bridges, at least here in Brownsville. Each one takes you into a different part of Matamoros, right across the border. But you know what? I haven't gone. It's been, I think it's been a few years already. Don't want to go. Don't have a desire to go. Bad experiences with medical, with dentists. I don't want to die. You still have random shootings and cartels shutting streets down to do their business. And you know what? People say, "Oh, when it's your time to go, it doesn't matter where." I say, "Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to put myself at risk and go somewhere that something like that could happen to me, and I'm not doing it. So I'm not going, and I got no problem with not going. Do I miss some of the food here or there? Yeah." But here in Brownsville, it's pretty much an extension of that town of Matamoros in Mexico. You come to Brownsville, you're practically in Mexico anyway. I mean, you can go to some McDonald's here where some of the young people there, they don't even speak English. They greet you in Spanish. That's another one of my pet peeves, but I'm not going to get into that. So, you want to stop Americans from going over there? Well, that's what you do. What they're doing right there, that's exactly what you do. And the moment the money stops flowing, the money quits being invested in Mexico, what do you think they're going to say then? That's the truth. It tastes so good. yeah, so that's happening. Again, if they were going to protest, okay, protest. I think they have a right to do that over there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they do. But just like here, the moment you start destroying property and trying to burn shit down and destroying cars and hurting innocent people, forget it. Now it's not about, trying to express your message. Now you're just punks. And then I came across, switching gears again here, I came across a video, just a few minutes, and I started to watch it and it pissed me off. Yes, it is the VT Chronicles. And I'll wrap it up with this. It's going to be a short night tonight. I will wrap it up with this. I forgot how long it is. 10 minutes or something. Oh, 7 minutes. Even better. This is VT Chronicles. Remember when, we'll never forget, the $500 that's missing. Remember? Yeah. I wanted to play this again. Because the fact that this happened, this got her very upset. Not the fact that she went on with Kathy, but the fact that I streamed it. That's when she started accusing Kathy of joining forces with the hate page. And she came on and went live shortly after that. She was not a happy camper. You guys remember this? Let's see.
I get a phone call. I get a message, and it's from Hyman, and it wasn't a kind message, and I didn't understand it at first. And then
Why does he have to be kind to you? Is that what she said?
And it's
now a lot of this body language, and I don't know. I don't remember. I know I streamed this already, and I discussed it, but I don't remember how deep, in depth, we got into analyzing this.
I get a phone call. I get a message.
I mean, you can tell she's lying. Who knows if it was a message or a phone call or which it was. But you can tell her body language. She's just full of shit.
And it's from Hyman, and it wasn't a kind message, and I didn't understand it at first.
Yeah. Why does it have to be kind? Why does he have to be kind to you? I don't know.
And then he said the name of somebody, and
I don't even know why I put this on. It's already pissed me off. It's pissing me off, but at the same time, I don't care. Her problem. She wants to live in turmoil. She loves to live in turmoil. Well, then suck it up, buttercup. But the way she's going about it, her cadence, looking around, thinking before she speaks, it's a lot of it's she's full of shit.
I mean, we don't have the same circle of friends. So I'm not going to think that if you say the name of somebody that I know, that automatically is the same person. So then he explained who it was, and I was like, you know what? I trust her way more than I trust you. I don't know what's going on, but let me call her, right? And so then she calls me and she tells me that she simply, she simply congratulated him, for, I guess, I don't even know what he announced, but I'm guessing it's like the charges were gone or whatever. And this was from the arrest where, I forgot which one it was.
She's live. She's live right now.
So during that time, I wound up having to survive more people in public. Men in politics.
Oh God, same crap. You know what? I'm gonna wait till she's done. That's what I'm gonna do.
But anyways, I'll explain it right now. So then she finally explains to me that, she had given me $500, and I did what she wanted me to do with those $500.
No, you didn't. Did I miss something? Because she was supposed to give that money to Jaime. So she says she did what she was supposed to do with that money.
But then she explained to me something else, and I was like, okay. You see, because at
Okay, what?
this point, this was years ago. How many years ago was this, Kathy?
Gosh, probably 2 years, I want to say. Was it 2 years?
Or 3?
Because I haven't talked to that to them, the other side, for a year.
This is how, okay, you know what I don't like? Let me start off with this. What I don't like is that when he messaged me, he was like, yeah, me and her talk. No, you don't. She reached out to you because she saw you. Do you know why she saw you? Because of me. You know why she helped you? Because of me. She wasn't going to help you.
You know why he didn't get the money? Because of you. You see how that works? You see how that worked? Yes, because of you. Because of you, he didn't get the money.
For any other reason than because she knew me. And at that point, when she knew of him, she hadn't realized how much he had damaged me. And I was actually there waiting for him to be bonded out. Only because I wanted to make sure that,
No, this is just I was doing a recap again because I bumped into this video today. Yesterday, actually. But then she is live right now, so I'm going to wait till she's done with her live. What's she talking about? Let's see.
That means that you haven't done your research. I actually got my degree in biology and chemistry.
Oh, she's talking about her biology degree. Yeah.
Nobody showed up to, hassle him, and harass him. And sure enough, that's when we had gotten a picture of, those two ladies driving away, right? Because they did go over there to do that. So it really bothered me, the fact that he wanted to make me believe that this friend, who's my friend, that they talk. No, the fuck you don't talk. She saw you. She gave.
Yeah, and you and her don't talk either. You and her don't talk either. Because why would she wait 3 years to ask you, oh, by the way, did you give him that money? Please.
You thank you. And, and in the course of that discussion, there was a revelation. And when she explained to me the revelation, I was like, okay. And I already knew what it was going to be like. And I was like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, because she keeps saying, yeah, and then she just said this, and I was like, okay. Oh, and then there was a revelation, and I was like, okay. Okay, what? Just like last time. I'm sure I said this the first time. Just say you kept the money. Just say you kept the money. Just say it.
And the first thing that popped into my head was,
see, and you know she's full of shit because she's thinking too much about what she's gonna say. Her usual bullshit isn't rolling off her tongue. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about.
I'm going to do the right, well, I knew I was going to do the right thing. And I was going to pay him.
But you didn't. Never happened. Hey, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your $500 is? For those of you who don't know what that's from, back in the 80s, there was a campaign because kids were getting kidnapped or lost or wandering off. So one of the networks started a campaign. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? That's where that comes from. And it was pretty popular for a summer or two.
I was going to pay him, right?
Was. That's the key word here. Was.
And I was like, you know what? You accused me of stealing from a lady.
Well, you know, now I remember why I didn't want to play this. It's like, no, I'm saying it. It's like she's admitting to it without admitting to it. Tell us how you took the $500 without telling us you took the $500. Right?
And not only that, your first text to me, like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
What fucking difference does that make? Who are you? Who does she think she is? She's so important. Who are you talking to like that? And I hope he said, bitch, you took my money.
I don't care what you think of me.
So because the way he talked to her, that's why she decided not to give him his money? Is that what happened? Let's see what she's saying right now.
And even then, I didn't really completely understand it until I was in college. Then I got the ABCs of it. And I was that weird kid that started the third grade talking about pollution.
She's talking about the third grade and pollution. Yeah. Freaking Greta over here.
I don't.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Oh, was not loud enough?
How dare you?
There you go. Yeah.
Care how you're feeling. And let me also remind y'all that I do not like that I have to defend myself against these people. I really don't. Because all of these people who spoke on the issue, they all tried destroying me. That's the reason that they have their platforms, is because of my story.
You see how the story of the money kind of took a backseat to this is a story about her story of survival.
They don't have their platforms because of their stories. They don't have their platforms because of anything else other than the one thing they have in common was to talk shit about me and to present me to the world as the worst human being they possibly could.
Well, when you steal $500 and I said, I'm going to do the right thing, but you don't. Yeah, that's not a good person.
So when I started thinking about it, I was like, you're telling me how sad you stole from a lady, I was like, okay.
I didn't hear her say, no, I didn't steal. I took the money, but I didn't steal it. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense to me.
You want to say that. And also the way you came at me. So
I should leave this music off.
So I know he's going to see this, and just so he knows, had he not come at me like a bitchy woman, he would have that money.
Oh,
I get a message.
You.
Me of stealing from a lady. And not only that, your first text to me, like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? I don't care what you think of me.
So because he didn't speak to her nice, she said, I'm going to keep the money. You weren't nice to me. I'm going to keep the $500.
I don't care how you're feeling. And let me also remind y'all that I do not like that I have to defend myself against these people. I really don't.
Sorry, I went back a little too far, but that's okay.
I really don't. Because all of these people who spoke on the issue, they all tried destroying me. That's the reason that they have their platforms, is because of my story. They don't have their platforms because of their stories. They don't have their platforms because...
Yeah, that's because I'm not arrested 12 times. Thank you very much.
Of anything else other than the one thing they have in common was to talk shit about me and to present me to the world as the worst human being they possibly could. So when I started thinking about it, I was like,
okay,
you're telling me how sad you stole from a lady, I was like, okay. You want to say that. And also the way you came at me. So I know he's going to see this, and just so he knows, had he not come at me like a bitchy woman, he would have that money.
Oh, poor
Sure
you.
enough. Sure enough. Because I was going to do the right thing.
You keep saying was. I was gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Sounds like a Keith Sweat song. Didn't do it.
And some people would probably be like, Vanessa, well, what? Because I'm not going to be arguing. Because I've learned, you know what? Y'all see what I've gone through. Officers planted drugs in my damn car.
Fuck.
You don't think that is way more important? A fucking judge is about to be in huge trouble. I mean, those are fights and battles and wars that are way bigger than dealing with this man who I have never really bothered to ever, clarify anything that he's ever said about me, because he's open about his mental illness, and we don't know if he is medicating himself or not. Right? I get a phone call. I get a message, and
Yeah, that was the clip. That was just that. She's still alive right now. Let me see. Yes. What's she saying?
You see that, like, people like Aaron Brockovich, chromium in the water, it is the same chemical that Aaron Brockovich exposed a company, contaminating the water tablet of innocent people. She was in California. I just want to let y'all know that y'all are tagging me. Y'all are tagging somebody that learned a very hard lesson.
Okay.
It's really what I tried to do.
So, a couple of months ago, I had Joshua Morales. He made the documentary about the Causeway Bridge here when it collapsed. That's off Federal Island. And he made a documentary about how polluted the water is here in the valley. Not to mention the air, but he's been on a campaign to try to get our water system cleaned up. It's really contaminated. I would never drink the tap water from here, not even through a filter. I get my bottle of water from the machine that comes out super way good filter. So, and he's been on this campaign, promoting, besides his film, he's trying to get people to become aware and to try to get involved in this movement to get the EPA and the government to clean up to take notice and do something about our water system. Well, people have been tagging Vanessa, apparently, because she's like Aaron Brockovich, right? And they want her to do something about this water situation. I think that's hilarious. Can't wait to stream this.
Okay, this is important. The more progressive information.
And this is what she put on her page. See if I can get there. Give me a moment, please. This is what she put on her page now. Her current, Here, let me tell you this. So, in light of what happened at Kerrville and other communities along the Guadalupe River, the Houston Astros have donated $1 million to recovery efforts and whatever is needed. Texas Rangers, I think they did the same thing, maybe $1.5 million. I'm gonna find out if this is true. And from what I've seen right now, so $1 million from the baseball teams here in Texas. The Chicago Cubs. Yes. My Cubs. The Chicago Cubs have donated $50 million to support the victims and for aid and for rescue, for whatever it's needed for. $50 million. 50. Even if it's wrong by a zero, and if it's $5 million, it's a hell of a lot more than, Houston and Texas Rangers put together. But everywhere I look to see, it says 50 million. The Chicago Cubs have donated $50 million to support the victims and aid in the search and rescue of those missing in the devastating flash floods in Texas. Fans were stunned to learn that one of the team's superstars personally traveled to the disaster site to offer hands-on help. $50 million.
But once we get it done, the most important part is the one you need now in the business.
I'm trying to find out who the superstar is that actually went down there. But might be clickbait. The whole thing might be clickbait. I'm gonna find out. I will find out. Anyway. Yeah, so all that happened, and
And all human want to be able to say, "Hey, love." But this is and in the way to do it. Whatever it is, in California and Texas.
Hold on. Something's going on here.
As much as I want to be about this issue, the flooding, and I spoke about the issue of Robb Elementary. That's different. This is a long-term chronic thing. Robb Elementary happened in 77 minutes. Yes.
All right. Well, she's talking about Robb Elementary. She's talking about the shooting at Uvalde. I don't know. She's trying to get at something. I'm trying to figure out what it is. But I'm going to stream it afterwards. She keeps saying it sounds like she's wrapping up. That's why I don't want to go live with it while she's live. I'm gonna wait till she's over. So we'll see what comes of that. In the meantime, I'm gonna go fix me a drink. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll wrap it up right now, and see what she has to say, and I'll go live with that. So I'll be back live in a little bit. Let's see.
And within months, years, for them to see the things that I was saying in that first second.
For some reason, she's not talking. She doesn't want to talk about Camp Mystic and the Guadalupe River flood. She wants to talk about Robb Elementary and Uvalde. Whatever. I'll come back with it tonight. So I'll come back with that tonight. Sounds like it'll be just not. I don't know. Like she goes off on something. She's got that look like she was at the gym. Hold on.
The rule book is already out there for you. Oh, the boat is safe, and I'm just going to keep praying for the best outcome for everybody, regardless of the contamination. Regardless of how much money a lot of the victims' parents have, regardless of any of that, I'm going to pray for the best outcome for everybody and send them the most positive energy. I'm not going to be there.
I'm gonna keep it here for a minute. She keeps saying she's gonna. Okay, that's all I got to say. All right, she wrapped that up. It was a total of 40 minutes. No, not ready yet. Not ready yet. I just keep it here. Okay, let's just do this now. I'm not gonna sign off. Give me a minute. Let me set it up for you. Gotta hear what she's got to say about this. Alrighty. Got it. You guys ready?
Music competition coming only to Netflix Wednesday, July 9th. Talented singers pick bandmates based on nothing but voice, with pure vocal chemistry and human connection. When the bands finally meet, it's surprises, drama, and some serious performance energy. Hosted by AJ McLean with mentor and judge Nicole Scherzinger, guest judges Kelly Rowland and
I'm not gonna play that music, so got the headphone deal.
That's right, 5 decades of hits.
But those are not like headphones to block noise out. Those are music headphones.
Hello, hello. I'm just checking in. I'm still on my hiatus. Hello, Ida. Hello, Belinda, Miss Kim Daniels.
Yeah, it's not a hiatus when you keep coming back. Call it something else. Call it a break. Call it a mini vacation. But it's not a hiatus. Hiatus means you're gone for a long time though.
Campos, ¿cómo estás? Gina, Ida, Ana, how are y'all doing? Thank you. Hi, Monica. Hi, Audrey. Hello, hello. This is Vanessa the Hirina coming at you live. here in the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas. Thank you, Miss Kim. Thank you. I miss y'all too. I miss y'all too. I'm you know. I'm not back, Sally. I just came to check in with y'all and just to say some things, you know. Just let me get to where I'm going real quick. Real quick. Thank you. Esto no es vestido. I have a man asking me if I'm wearing shorts or a dress. Yo no tengo maquillaje. Nada de maquillaje. Y estoy sudando. No se mira que estoy, you know, haciendo, you know, poniendo energía a mirarme así, ¿no? Al último, ¿qué le hace? Like, what does it matter? I told him, because he asked in Spanish, and I said, well, I'm sweating, I don't have any makeup on. Why would I be wearing a dress? Or why, if it looks like I'm not putting energy into that, you know, I think that answers your question. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you, Miss Kim. That is the point. That's the point. That is the point. Did I say it? Let me say it again. No, I did say it. I did. Okay, here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome in. Everybody just came in. Callie Bay.
If this is one of the first videos you're watching of mine,
Sarah's
welcome.
in the house. Hey.
If this is you know, you're returning, you've been a follower of mine, welcome back. And thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Which she loves. I'm gonna say she's gonna pretend to care about what happened along the Guadalupe River in Texas.
Thank you very much. Hola, gracias. Hugs right back to you, Kennedy, Texas. Thank you, Corina. Gracias. Prayers to Tennessee and prayers to Central Texas, Kerrville. Kerr County. I haven't gone live to talk about that, but you all know that I have a lot to say about that, right? I'm from the southernmost tip of Texas, and the reason why I even have this social media is because 10 going on 11 years ago, I didn't have a social media footprint. No, I had to stand up for people that I loved, and you don't do that in a small, deep South county. You don't. And you most certainly, well, at least not 10 years ago.
Hey, sure.
So.
No, I gotta correct something real quick. Cynthia. Oreos and water. I don't drink milk anymore. Milk is not good for you. I don't know if you're aware of this. I went on this little, I'll call it a trip, or a few weeks about what's good for you and not good for you. And I found out milk is really not good for you. Milk is not for humans. Milk from cows, that milk is for baby cows. It's not for humans. And although they try to make it for humans, I mean, it's injected, the cows get so many injections and steroids and antibiotics and, I mean, you name it. So whatever they inject into that cow, it's going to soak into their system. It's going to come out in their milk. Milk is not good for you. It's full of hormones. You ever think about this? More and more recently, within the last 20 years, younger girls are developing faster, getting bigger, younger. You ever notice that? You realize that? That's not just for no reason, it's for a reason. And one of those reasons is milk. Milk is not good. It is not good. I'm bold enough to say, cut it out of your diet. You don't need it. You can get calcium from other places. You don't need to get it from milk. I promise. Shit, I can't even remember the last time I had milk. That soy milk is not milk. That's not milk. That's soy. What's the comedian? Louis Black. He said it's soy juice. It's not milk. And the almond stuff, nah. You don't need it. But real milk is not good for you. You don't want it. Just completely take it out of your system. Just take it out. Well, I'll save that for another program.
So when I saw that people in power were doing the wrong thing, well...
But I'm not going to dunk my Oreos in water. I'm not going to do that either. So she keeps saying like she's got this message that she wanted to tell the world to defend children, but the evil people of Raymondville would not have it. It's full of crap.
And I knew that they were keeping it quiet because nobody's going to want people knowing you're doing that. My only choice really was to survive publicly. And well, they waged war against me. No, I'm not kidding. Mm-hmm.
Waging war against her. The people of South Texas were waging war against her because they didn't want her defending or speaking for children. They were against her because they didn't want a crackhead speaking on behalf of their children. That's why.
District attorney, judges, law enforcement. They did.
And all her arrests for doing all that shady shit she was doing, all of it, she uses this, the people of the South Texas didn't want me to do any of that. That's how they silenced me. They had me arrested all these times because they didn't want me to speak. That's why she was arrested 12 times. Not because she committed any crimes, Vanessa. No, of course not. Vanessa didn't steal glasses. Vanessa didn't defraud the state of Texas for, over $75,000. But her Muppets that follow her don't know better, so they just, they suck on that teat and they enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. They did. My book will be out soon. Mm-hmm. I'm likely the most prosecuted woman in all of America, probably. They counted on my story not getting out, and they underestimated my ability to survive them. They all did. The local papers and the local news stations as well. So I knew that I just had to wait. So during this time that I grew an audience, surviving all these people, I started to talk about things that I've always been interested in, and one of the biggest things is just humanity and the way that the human mind works and the behaviors of human people.
Humanity. Yeah.
If you look at my previous videos, those of you that have been following me for a long time know that I had an unorthodox upbringing.
What was unorthodox about it? Your mom didn't want you. She pawned her off to your grandma. Your grandma raised you. It's actually pretty common down here in this culture. And it's not even only that the mother didn't want her. It could be the moms are just too busy and they're working, or they got issues. Get grandma. That's a safe space. Grandma can raise her while we're busy over here doing our own thing. It's actually very common down here.
I had a lot of access to information, and it was unbridled. Nobody told me, you cannot read this, you cannot read that. I taught myself how to read. And the first book that I read from cover to cover, well, let me tell you why I'm telling you this. I love you.
Where's Selma? Selma!
What do you want, you useless piece of shit?
Exactly.
Y'all very much here in South Texas. But if you all have been following me for a while here in the Rio Grande Valley, the Rio Grande Valley is made up of the 4 southernmost counties in Texas. Starr County, starting from the west. Starr County, Hidalgo County, and Cameron County. Those are the 3 most southern counties. They make up the bottom tip of Texas, the southernmost tip of Texas. Those 3 counties border the Rio Grande River that empties out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of America.
I'm from Willacy County. We're just above, directly north of Cameron County. And when they waged war against me, and well, I pushed back, 3 years into that survival, I got into politics. And you know, I was one of the loudest and strongest Bernie supporters in these 4 counties. And people didn't like that.
Well, that might not be true. She might have been the only Bernie supporter down here. But then again, she would go to wherever she thought there could be action for her. You know what I mean? She would go wherever she thought might get her votes, because she always wanted to be in office.
The Republicans didn't like it because, well, you're not a Republican. And the Democrats hated it because they wanted Hillary Clinton to win. They couldn't stand that somebody was fiercely supporting another Democrat. Well, the thing is that Bernie was for the environment. And he was really for all the issues that mattered. Everything that actually really mattered. That's what he was for. everything that the Democrat Party was always supposed to be about is what Bernie was for.
Yeah, when I was 6 months old, I read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. Just the fact that I know about the Encyclopedia Britannica means that I'm old. A lot of you fetuses here are too young to know what an encyclopedia, a set of encyclopedia, an encyclopedia set. It would take up an entire bookshelf. Each book was about this thick, and it was usually alphabetical. And every 6 months, every year, you had to get it updated because as the world, changed, they had to keep updating the encyclopedia. So thank God for the internet, because now of course those companies went out of business from selling those. They used to go door to door like a vacuum cleaner salesman. They used to go door to door trying to sell these things that cost $2,000 or whatever. Damn, what a waste of paper.
And so I aligned with a lot of his views because a lot of his views, he was on the right side of the issue. He still is. And so during that time, I wound up having to survive more people from the public. Men in politics, trying to be in politics, trying to make a name for themselves. You see me here with no microphone, no fancy backdrop, no stage, nothing like that. Mm-mm. But then you see all of the people that were hateful, by the way, that I influenced. And you see them with all their props.
Props?
So all those people tried to destroy my life in their own brand of hate. Mm-hmm. They're all in my book, by the way. Every single one of them. If you feel because I've not mentioned your name that I survived you and you know very well that I did, you're in my book. Mm-hmm. I'll be waiting for a lawsuit. It won't happen because it's a true story. I digress. So here recently, because of the floods, I've had some people from my county, from these counties, message me and tell me that there's, people that are interested in the flooding and the cancer rates and this and that. I know that I have been off of social media more than I've been on social media, especially in the last 3 years that the tables started to turn in this battle of my survival.
The tables started to turn in the battle of her survival. Sounds like a really epic movie. In a world with hateful people. I want to see the trailer for that book. That's what I want to see.
Versus the people trying to make me be anything but a survivor. Right? And so I want to remind people, I have an aversion to aligning forces with especially men. Especially men. Just so that you know, if it's a man that has ever been on a podcast of another man that has shown me hate, that credibility is already questioned in my mind.
Oh. You see what she did there? So Joshua, the movie producer, creator, filmmaker that was on my program last month, or maybe a couple of months ago now. He's got all this information. He knows what's in the water. He's had water tested. He's spoken to all the environmental people that he needs to. he spoke to enough people where he was able to make a short film out of it. So because he came to my program and I interviewed him, he's got no credibility. That's what she's telling you. Again, to that I say, who the fuck are you to be a fucking film critic or to be a critic of anything? Who cares what you think? Who freaking cares what you think? What you don't know could fill an entire Encyclopedia Britannica. I promise you that much.
And about that person that you are trying to introduce me to. Because obviously that person cares more about getting their name out there than they care about attaching themselves with hate like that. If they've ever done a split screen with another man that knows nothing about science and has not been successful in his political endeavors, and the man you're trying to introduce me to is wondering why no one's talking about the cancer rates, but you're doing a split screen with a man from Mission, Texas, that means that you haven't done your research.
Mission, Texas?
I actually got my degree in biology and chemistry. I actually know why we can't eat the fish. I've been in more homes than I think probably anybody in America has.
She's been in more homes than anybody in America. Oh my God. Oh. And she says this with a straight face. Like, oh yeah, everybody's going to believe me. I've been in more homes than oh God, that's a new one. That's good. That's funny. She's a comedian too, by the way.
In the last 20 years. More homes, especially here in South Texas.
You barely work. You visit 1 or 2 people a day. And the rest of the time you're driving and not live for 3 hours. Who are all these people you're visiting? I'm telling you. Oh, bless her heart.
I've seen every walk of life in their most vulnerable state. I worked for heart surgeons, and because they were heart surgeons, they were also trauma surgeons, and they were also the last hope for people with cancer when all else fails. It was surgery that they needed. And we were right next to a very renowned and beloved oncologist.
Yeah. Is she Santa Claus? She is, but she's like the opposite. You know, instead of bringing gifts down the chimney, she would come down the chimney and she would steal shit and then she would get out. So she was the opposite of Santa Claus.
And that experience that I had made me become aware of the strangely high cancer cases here in the Rio Grande Valley.
Oh, shit.
Especially in Willacy County. As I continued my education at UTPA, now University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and I was going into my higher level biology classes, I started to put everything together, not just with my biology classes, but with my sociology classes and my psychiatry classes, my psychology classes.
Right.
And so I started to question things, and this whole time I was still going into the homes of these people. And so for the last 25 years, 30 years, the first thing that I ask people is,
where did you have time to do all this? Visiting more homes than anyone in the country for the last 20 years? Going to school, biology, sociology, psychology, and yet you still find the time to smoke crack. Like, whoa, how do you do it? How did you do that? Like Jesse Peterson says, that's amazing. It's amazing.
when they tell me, because people, strangely, they open up to me because they feel comfortable talking to me. And they'll tell me, well, you know, my so-and-so had a strange cancer, and it is a strange cancer. It's a cancer that not too many people have. And I have also previously mentioned how almost every family has somebody in their family, a child that was born in the last 20 years with some kind of neurological birth defect. And it's hard to not attribute all that to our water table. It's hard to not attribute that to the years of pesticide use and the PCBs, the polychlorinated biphenyl byproducts that are very much found in the waterways of the Rio Grande Valley, which is why you cannot eat the fish. You're not supposed to, because it stays in organic matter. It stays in your tissues. It stays in the tissues of those fish. It stays in the humans and the animals that ingest those fish.
Does it stay in the tuna that you cooked with all that freaking garlic? Remember that?
And I've learned through my experience and asking people and having discussions with people, when they tell me about a family member that has had a certain kind of cancer that is strange, I ask them, my first question always is, did you work in the fields? Like,
yeah, I'm sure that's her first question. Yeah, because she's such a researcher, you know. She's such an investigative reporter. She's incredible. She's incredible. Oh, hang on. We got some breaking news here. Hold on.
Breaking news just coming to us now. You're a bitch. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
as a migrant worker, or did you live near a field? Did your grandparents? That's my next question. And what I have noticed is that when both sets of grandparents worked in the fields, and then those parents of those grandparents worked in the fields, the number of cancer cases in that family is a lot more. And to me, that's not a coincidence. It just can't be. But I've been asking all those questions because the first book that I read was Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. I'm not somebody that just suddenly became interested in, all these things that are going to happen to our world. No, I was that strange kid that read that book, and I had to read it 3 times to understand it fully. And even then, I didn't really completely understand it until I was in college. But
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
I got the ABCs of it. And I was that weird kid that started the 3rd grade talking about pollution and water. And how when the animals are affected and the insects are affected, we're all affected. And how if we don't do something about it, right? So when you all tag me, I love y'all. When you all tag me that there's a man asking these questions, I've been talking about these issues for 10 years.
No, you haven't.
I've been talking about these issues for 10 years. My videos are there. Now I've been downloading all my videos because I have to, because Facebook's going to delete.
Oh my God. The lies, the lies. So okay. So somebody else did all the research, did a lot of research. And you know what? Before him, with all due respect, before him, other people have done the research. But the culture here, they don't care. They don't want to hear it. They're not interested. It's really weird down here. There's like very little interest in what this guy's trying to do. So other people have done the research. He did the research. All of a sudden, this one comes out and says, "Oh yeah, I know all that stuff." Like out of nowhere, just she knows it all. She knew it all before him. She knew it all before everyone else. Well, if you knew it all back then, why didn't you do anything about it?
Them, right? In August, I asked for the extension. Right? But all of my videos are there. Nothing that I'm saying is a lie because I have in August. I've been talking about these issues for 10 years. My videos are there. Now I've been downloading all my videos because I have to, because Facebook's going to delete them all, right? In August, I asked for the extension. Right? But
There is no extension. You can't get an extension. There is no such thing.
all of my videos are there. Nothing that I'm saying is a lie because I have a lot of people that do not like me and that want to introduce me to the world as a liar, A, B, and C, worst person for A, B, and C reason, right? And I'm not going to have that. That's not going to happen. No. If anything, their attempts are going to underscore what I've always said, is to judge me based on the people that judge me. Just, if you really want to know what's going on, just look, listen, hear, and research the people that do not like me. And that will tell you everything you need to know. Everything. So when you all tag me with a man, and in the course of me entering politics, I met with people in Mission, Texas. And so when this man is saying, well, there's this certain chemical inside the water in Mission, Texas, and why isn't anybody talking about it? They did talk about it. I know because I met with them,
Right.
the families that were directly affected.
Right.
And you might want to do your research because the reason that they were able to win a lawsuit was because there was generations and generations of newborns that were not making it, and women having an enormous amount of miscarriages. All of it was environmental. None of those chemicals have gotten out of the water. None of them. And they had to be quiet because they were targeted politically. So when you all tag me with a man that's bringing up like the name Aaron Brockovich, I've spoken about all of that.
Oh boy.
Everything. The flooding, all of it.
All of it.
Everything. Everything.
All of it.
So
everything.
I do things on my own.
She's a genius. She's a spectacle. She's the RGV's Aaron Brockovich. Jack of all trades, master of none. She knows more than Aaron Brockovich. She wants to be Aaron Brockovich.
On my own. I'm not going to rely on anybody local to join forces with anybody. I'm doing fine on my own.
Nobody asked you for anything. Who gives a shit? What?
Weird.
What? Who asked you for anything? You say you have a biology degree that you're not even using. You care so much, but you're not even using your biology degree. Why? Especially now that you're hardly working at all. Why wouldn't you put your biology degree to work and do something in the biology field? I have an idea why, but I wish you would tell me.
I've shown in the last 10 years that I've cared about the issues, even as I'm literally surviving. I care so much that the United Nations has 20 points of sustainability for any community in the world. And in 2017, I went to the United Nations NGO, NGO Summit, Non-Governmental Organization Summit.
2017, she went to the United Nations NGO Summit. The bullshit coming out of this is really hurting my brain today. Was anybody aware of this? That she went to the United Nations? Chris Baker, here, are you writing this down? You can add this to her list of accomplishments. Yeah.
And I'm documented stating, hey, I come from the Rio Grande Valley, and I want to let you know that we are living third world conditions down there. And that those 20 points of sustainability include the amount of corruption, your access to clean water, your ability to vote, the level of justice, all of that. Environmental issues, everything. And we fail a lot of those points of sustainability. But I've also made videos letting y'all know that the most important thing in the world is our environment right now. But people don't really care.
So, for those of you that have been watching her for years, so I've been watching her since 2000. I'm going to say 2019, just watching. But I didn't start to stream her until 2020. Oh, you know what? If I put this kid on, this is all we're gonna hear all night. I mean, all night.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
I mean, I'll have him on so much that we won't even hear what she's got to say. But she cares about the environment so much. Yet I don't think I've ever heard her talk about the environment. I don't think so. Ever.
They don't. And I learned that years ago. During this 10-year fight for survival. They don't. They'll make fun of you. They're calling that man the crazy lady. And I feel bad for him. Because if he does care about the Rio Grande Valley, you know, that's what they did to me. Enough talking about the water already. He's going through it. I see it. I see it. Enough talking about the floods already. All of that I've talked about. And I'm doing this because I want to remind you that if you, especially the people that maybe started following me because of Uvalde, right?
Yeah, nobody started following her because of Uvalde. She was an embarrassment during Uvalde. That's for damn sure.
And then shortly thereafter, I started going not live more than I was live, and going on a hiatus more than I was actually activated. Right? And so you may not remember, or you may not know, that I spoke of all those issues. I've been speaking of them for 10 years. I've been
A
talking
bullshit?
about
A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
We just don't have enough people in the Rio Grande Valley that care about climate change. Remember, we are one of the most poorly educated areas of the nation. I remember 10 years ago when I said that, people that wanted other people to hate me would use that as a bone of contention by saying, look, she's calling us stupid. No, I'm stating what the statistics are. It's the truth. I've had to survive many of these minds. Some of them know not what they do, and some of them know exactly what they do when they sling their hate my way.
And there's a lot of mental illness down here too. And we're watching a specimen right now. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Poster child for mental illness in the Rio Grande Valley.
Since I was a kid, I survived them. So I know the mentality down here. And some of the brightest minds, they understand the importance of climate change. They understand the dangers of our water table. They see the correlation. They see at least a connectivity. Some things there regarding the high cancer rates and the type of cancer. You see, but like people like Aaron Brockovich, yeah, chromium in the water, yeah, it is the same chemical that Aaron Brockovich exposed a company, contaminating the water tablet of innocent people. She was in California. I just want to let y'all know that y'all are tagging me. Y'all are tagging somebody that learned a very harsh lesson. Yeah.
I don't think you learned a lesson. Does anybody think she learned a lesson? Has she learned any lesson at all?
It's easy to do what I tried to do in New York City. It's easy to do what I tried to do down here in California. In Deep South Texas? No. In the reddest state in the nation? Absolutely not. No. And if you do it, you cannot do it in that kind of approach. In the same approach that I took 10 years ago, you just cannot. You can't. Now here recently, I've seen some Republicans start to care about climate change, start to care about how environmental issues may exacerbate natural disasters, and worse than that.
Wait, what was that word she said? I know what she's trying to say.
Start to care about climate change. No. And if you do it, you cannot do it in that kind of approach. In the same approach that I took 10 years ago, you just cannot. You can't. Now here recently, I've seen some Republicans start to care about climate change, start to care about how environmental issues may exacerbate natural disasters, and worse than them.
Close.
In a way that could have been prevented, or in a way that the damage could have been mitigated had we actually paid attention to these issues 40, 50, 40, 30, 20 years ago. You see? But maybe it had to be them that.
Yeah, I noticed she keeps saying water tablet instead of table.
Sometimes you have to let them think that they came up with the idea of, hey, this is important, even though we all know that the rest of the world, at least the more progressive states in the nation, have already cared about those issues for a very long time. You can't take the same approach that they took. You can't do Aaron Brockovich in Texas. You can't. They don't like that approach. And unfortunately or fortunately, depending on what side of the political spectrum you're on, if you really do want to get things done and you care about humanity, you have to accept that you live in Texas and you cannot go about it that way. You just can't. You can't. They don't appreciate that here. That is not.
Because she knows all about this. All about this. She knows all about what the people want and don't want. I mean, she's so good at it. That's why she, has won so many elections. Oh, no, wait a minute. She hasn't won a single one. Oh. Yet she speaks like she has.
Not what they are accustomed to. And you have to accept that they are the ones that are in power. If what you care about more is helping people, not just getting your name out there, then you're going to understand that. And you're going to understand that the approach that you take may matter just as much as the passion that you try to evoke in the hearts of other people. So when you see your movement is not taking off, you might want to reconsider your approach. You can't take New York City approaches here or California approaches here. And it's sad because we're most at risk. Because not only are they undereducated, they don't want to hear it. In fact, they'll sometimes do things to silence you. And they'll ridicule you into silence, even. That never worked with me. I just decided years ago, like 3 or 4, there's just certain issues that I'm just not going to talk about the way I've been talking about them. And I kind of want to see what leaders in Texas are going to do what when the time comes. So when you tag me, thank you for thinking of me. But just know, I've been speaking of these issues way before these men ever brought these issues up. And if I were those families that were targeted politically for trying to raise awareness to their story, the families that were directly affected by the water contamination in areas of Mission, Texas, I would feel a little disrespected. Because if you really care about the area, you would wonder, why didn't somebody who's in politics in Mission, Texas, that I did a split screen with, inform me of this? Why did he let me keep saying, why is no one in Mission talking about it? Oh, they did. They were politically targeted when they did. Yeah, there's areas in McAllen also. Whole neighborhoods, whole generations, also strange cancers, all clustered. I know, because I've been in those homes. I've been a nurse for them. I've been a nurse for their families, and
She's been a nurse for every single person here in the Rio Grande Valley. Brownsville alone's got 220,000 people right now. McAllen a little less, and then everywhere in between. She knows everybody. She's been to everybody's house. She's a regular Florence Nightingale.
Yeah. So.
And I gotta say this. If you're over there on her page, and I'm talking about the people who watch her like she's a goddess, and they believe all this crap, I'm talking to you Muppet heads, you followers of hers, you guys are idiots. You're meatheads. Friggin' meathead Muppets is what you guys are. If you fall for any of this crap. She brings up Erin Brockovich because she wants to, in a slight way, compare herself to Erin Brockovich. And she does that because that's what she does. Just like when she brings up stories about Jesus Christ, it's because she wants to relate herself. Whatever her plight may be, is the same plight that Jesus did. She knows more than Erin Brockovich. She's been talking about this for years. Really? When? Show me a video. Show me a video where you gave a crap about anything else besides that you were a victim that took a beating over some bad drug deal. Show me that. Everybody wants to see that.
That's what I have to say. So y'all don't need to tag me in that. I've been there. I've spoken about it. They can, I root for them in all the ways that they want to, do what's best for the people in the Rio Grande Valley. I know that I'm just the type of person that I will have to do whatever I'm going to do. Eventually, it's going to be by myself, and it's going to be at a time when they're just going to need something different. Period. And we all know that I'm probably as different as it gets. And I'm okay with that. So, to all of you ladies and some gentlemen.
You're probably right, Jane. You're probably just saying, "Oh, everybody's." How can you be tagged if your page was deactivated? You just reactivated today. How could people have been tagging you if your page was not even there? Riddle me that one. If you were deactivated, how can you get tagged by so many people? Interesting.
Before all these men were talking about environmental issues, I was doing it, and I was doing it during my survival.
She's the pioneer of speaking environmental issues down here in the Rio Grande Valley. Nobody was talking about the environment down here before her. I'm waiting for her to say she discovered the Rio Grande Valley Republic. I'm waiting for her to say that. She's a freaking genius.
Unflinching. But I stopped.
Only 7 minutes.
For all the reasons I stated in this video. The one thing that I didn't stop is
If you really cared, you would have been talking about it. I don't see evidence of that. I've been watching since 2019. Saw no evidence of it. And if you really cared, you would have still been talking about it and doing something about it. So don't even pretend that you care. Everybody can see through your crap.
caring. And I'm never going to stop caring. I just have to show my love in a different way. Because Texas is...
I gotta show my love in a different way. You know? I have to show it different. Yeah.
special and unique. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel love the way that California feels love. It doesn't feel love the way that New York City feels love. And just like one person, you have to love an area and demonstrate love to an area and concern to an area in a way that they receive love and the way that they can understand. That's what caring about issues is. That's what passion is.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Why is she talking about love and that you have to love humanity?
And she loves humanity so much that she never talks about it. All she talks about is surviving. Surviving what is what I would like to know.
If you really care about these issues, it's because you love humanity. You care. Caring is love. And all humans want to be able to say, I agree, is to feel that you love what they can relate to and in the way that they love and can receive love.
This is like cringy. Just give me the creeps. This is so fucking weird. Oh.
About whatever issue matters to you.
Yeah, you care. Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
Well, that's all I have to say about that. Mm-hmm. This is me being, I guess, weird again. The people in California and New York City and outside of, in other areas of Texas know, that is how they feel down here. And I'm already used to not caring. I've never cared.
Weird.
I'm not going to talk about as much as I want to be talk about this issue of the flooding, the way that I spoke about the issue of Robb Elementary.
She can't talk about the flooding because it's not about her. It's got nothing to do with her. And, there's only 4 or 5 minutes left. So, she cares, right?
That was different. This is a long-term chronic thing. Robb Elementary happened in 77 minutes. Yes, the flood came and went. However, the disaster, it's not over yet. And yes, the pain for the people in Robb Elementary will always be there in their memories and in the pain that they feel in their body and the trauma that they endured. But this is different. This is different from Robb Elementary. It has its similarities, but I learned. It was quite obvious, only because of my experience and what I knew, that what they did at Robb Elementary was completely wrong. And in the face of many people hating me and not wanting me to talk about it, I still spoke of it because how can you not? And even though it took weeks, months, years for them to see that the things that I was saying in that first, second, third day wasn't wrong. This is different. This is different because this is
a natural disaster. Warnings were given and people did not heed the warnings, unfortunately. But let's see what she's got to say.
when you see people like pediatricians making statements about wishing good outcomes to certain children, to certain victims, and basically relaying the message that because of a political affiliation, other ones should not have good outcomes. You didn't see that with Uvalde. You didn't see that with Uvalde the way that you're seeing this right now.
How can you compare what happened, an active shooter, mass shooting, what happened in Uvalde at Robb Elementary? You can't compare that to what's going on right now in Kerrville or any other community along the Guadalupe River. Those two things are not even on the same playing field. They got nothing to do with each other. And nobody's trying to make them be similar because they can't.
All that has to pass, in my opinion. So, that's what I have to say about it. Are you still here? My prayers go out to everybody, to the family, to the survivors, to the leaders that showed initiative, to the leaders that didn't know enough, because I don't think anybody intended to do anything bad at all. You see, that's the difference between Uvalde. Uvalde, they chose to do absolutely nothing. When the rule book was already out there for them. This is different. This is different.
She's talking about this imaginary post-Columbine active shooter protocol, which there is no such thing.
I'm gonna let you go now, and well, that's it. I'm going back on my hiatus. I can't really see your comments. I don't know if you're commenting. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you. Okay. Well, that's it. I love y'all, and be well and safe, and I'm just gonna keep praying for the best outcomes for everybody, regardless of political affiliation. Regardless of how much money a lot of the victims' parents had. Regardless of any of that, I'm going to pray for the best outcome for everybody. and send them the most positive energy. I'm not going to be there doing that right now. Thank you. Bye.
Well, she tried. She tried getting those tears. Perhaps she should have tried some of that violin music or whatever. She was trying to make that happen. You can't compare these two events. They had nothing to do with each other. Absolutely nothing. And yes, there was somebody online who made that stupid comment. And actually, the sad thing is a lot of people were making that kind of comment. You know, that they deserved it or whatever. I mean, real sick people. Idiots who say stupid things like that. And should not have happened. All right, that's all I got for tonight. We're going on 2.5 hours. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I think at this point, it's just a recovery. I mean, it's possible people are stuck in trees somewhere holding on for dear life. It's possible. And, you know, we'll see. And the stories are coming out from the survivors and the parents of the survivors, and they're all talking. And it's difficult to watch all that. It's difficult to watch because so many didn't make it. And it is a bad situation. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Have a great evening. And we will talk to you on Taco Tuesday, which is about 25 minutes from now. Have a good night, everybody.